All right, good evening. Thank you so much for investing your time. Thank you so much for making it here. This is a different format of event that we are doing first time in Delhi. Right, we tried this event in Bangalore, astounding success, but we are doing for the first time in North India, East India and West India, whereby we get only selected handful premier institutions within a particular geography, get them here, brainstorm. Brainstorm how can we make the life of a student better, brainstorm how Adobe can do it, and I pick up few of the vibes which came: open source, teacher training, generative AI, responsible AI, right? And we'll try to answer you all that. And probably we'll brainstorm within each other to see how can Adobe make a difference, how do we answer generative AI, how do we take care of responsible AI, what are the products that we have in our offering that can make a student do better. And no wonder the last quote which came from ma'am was, it is not the AI will take the job, but the job would be taken by somebody who knows AI, right? So this is super important. I don't know how many of us did we attend Waves in May 2025, which took place in Mumbai. Waves was the first event organized by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Waves stands for World Audio Visual Entertainment System. It was one of the largest, biggest event organized by Government of India. Honorable Prime Minister was there to inaugurate that, and who's who of Bollywood was there, who's who of creative industry was there. And one thing came up, our CEO flew in specially to give the keynote there. Shantanu was there in the country just to do the keynote. One thing which came up was, India is known for what today? India is known for IT services. We have Infi, we have TechM, we have Wipro, we have HCL Tech, we have MTech, right? Lot many companies. IT services are plateauing now. They are plateaued. And the next inflection point is creativity. India this year, when the fiscal year ends for this year, which is FY26 March, will have 100 million creatives. That means 100 million are people on the job right now who has been trained by you all, like-minded you all, right? India is going to have a $30 billion creative industry by 2030, 30 billion, imagine, which is nothing but coming out from the design, from creativity, from media schools, from your journalism schools. So those are bouquet of creativity that we do it. $30 billion is the expected TCO coming out from creative industry by year 2030. So there's a huge amount of focus by Government of India, huge amount of focus by state governments. Every state government is making a blueprint on EVGC policy. Government of India is making a policy on EVGC policy. Schools are opening up today. Lot many design schools are opening today. And design community, and what I learned, and I pick up these bites, is a very, very tightly knit community. Today in this hall itself, there were at least 4 of you or 5 of you, you knew each other, right? Colleagues, college colleagues, teacher-student ratio, right? Old knowns, and this happens only in this thing, in the design industry also. I would have traveled left and breadth of the country in last 2 years of me being Adobe here. Number one here is I've observed design, creative, media, maximum is headed by diversity. Maximum we have, the people who are heading them is great women who's heading those institutes. Their creativity comes from them. B, it's a very, very closely knit institute. We have very few institutes in the country like NID, which produces, like NIFT, which produces, right? Similarly, we have few many institutes in the country which produces this women power today and who are heading these institutes. So what we'll do today is, in my next 20 minutes, I'll just outlay what is Adobe's thought over generative AI, how generative AI is becoming so super important for today's generation, how can you make the student life better, what are the different products that we are about to launch. This is what we are going to declare today is the launch which is going to happen in September, right? It's an early heads up to everybody. Then we have a live demonstration of generative AI by our SME, and why it is so important, by he's there, he was a professor at Pearl, right? So he understands student psych and teacher psych. He is my colleague now at Adobe, right? So he understands technology side. So it's an amalgamation of being a professor at Pearl, which is a fashion technology institute, and being at Adobe. He brings that wise knowledge. Probably he'll give his thoughts, giving you share and live about creative. giving a live demonstration about few of the generative engines that we have, and lot many things. I will not disclose what is going to display today, but I will get straightway into okay. So creativity with AI in education. This is the World Bank World Economic Forum report, which says what is the super important thing which is required for any recruiter to hire a student. What is that it is required? And this is as per the study, creativity thinking is the topmost skill which is required. I go for campus in India. I was part of Microsoft earlier. I was heading Microsoft Education 2 years back. I used to go for campus as part of Microsoft. Now I go as part of Adobe. The days of CGP at 9.x is gone. The day of student being a very good orator is gone. He has to be out-of-box thinker, he has to be a collaborator, he has to be a creative thinker. Only 3 things that I normally look into any student, anything. Creative thinker, out-of-the-box thinker, and how he can think in a situation if he is put in or she is put in to come out of that situation. Right? Creative thinking is the topmost demand in skill which is required for any recruiter to hire. Again, we heard this thing, AI is taking away the jobs. No. AI is making it more agile. It's like a co-pilot to you. AI makes the work more and more better, more and more precision. What we also say, 92 million jobs would be displaced by another 3 years or 5 years from now. But because of AI, 2x of that, which is 170 million jobs would be created. This is across all the industries. So AI is not going to run away. AI is not going to take away the jobs. Employers, as I said, upskilling their current skill workforce. We at Adobe, into technology, have to undergo skilling ourselves every month. So we undergo a lot of modules every month. Officially, we have to pass those modules. I mean, gone through those 30 years back I was in college, but still I'm in college. So I have to go through those modules, 2 hours, 3 hours module. After that, there's assignment. If I don't pass the assignment, I have to redo everything. I have to redo it. Till such time I get assignment with 80-85% marks. Okay. Acceleration, the automation process. So these are the important things that we say. This is a very important slide, if I were to put it. Some time back, few years back, 71% of the leaders will say, I'll hire somebody with no AI skill, but with higher knowledge, who is more experienced. This was a known fact 5 years back. If you are experienced, 10 years old experience, you are welcome, right? The peon will open the door for you, but inside you go there because you are experienced. Person with the latest skills was not looked into. But if you see the gift shift changes, leaders would not hire anybody today who does not have AI skills. And this is so true. I'm sure as part of you being head of design, head being architecture, being an owner who's running institute, you would be getting recruiters to your campus. When they come to your campus, I'm sure they would be looking into these prime skills. Student has to be out-of-box thinker, student has to have a knowledge of AI, responsible AI. Coming back, as an educator, as an administrator, how is that we can make the student better equipped with AI tools, open source? How do we get into open source? How do we make teachers more better? Today what we feel, many places that we go, teachers are a little shy of technology so far also. Right? How do we make them, that shyness is out? How do we make them more empowered in terms of teaching AI, teaching the latest tools, teaching or using the latest technology, right? Which is TOT, you take a word, you take FDP as a word, you take MT as a word, lot many things, right? How do we make them, right? So that's why, how can we ensure? मेरी आवाज वैसी जा रही है. Done? Audible? All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Some data on this slide. If you read this slide, there's some lot of heavy data on this slide. Okay. In a campus, we all are from the campus. What are the 3 personas? Which is primarily, you have students, you have faculty and staff, you have administrators. I don't think any 3rd or 4th persona is there present in a campus, right? Student can be a student, UG, PG, researcher, faculty, staff, your support staff, your teaching faculty, and the administrator who owns, who runs, governance, and all that. Now, what is that which is required? And this is a study which says, what is student requires? They need AI so that they are more fluent. Okay? Faculty, what they need AI tools so that they can teach better. And we'll give a live demo today. What are the new AI tools from Adobe which can make teachers more better? All right. And administrator, what they're doing is re-evaluation software and consolidation. Very important. Few of us, I heard it saying that you have licenses, you have recently bought licenses, you have recently topped up licenses, lot many things, right? But as an administrator, as an owner, I would definitely like to look at consolidation, ROI. What is the best ROI I get it? And the next slide is replica of that. What is that we bring it for students? What is that we bring it for teachers? What is that we bring it for administrator? For a student, more important is productivity and creativity. Productivity is that he has, for example, I remember year 1, we used to read, or year 2, we used to read a book called Computer Networks by Andrew Tannenbaum. I still remember that book, right? 84 I passed my engineering. 84 Bits Pilani, Andrew Tannenbaum was the Bible for computer networks. Some 500 pages, and used to think through where is the network. With the generative AI, that book is available in PDF. 30 seconds I can summarize that book, and I can summarize my notes. I can summarize what is to be learned by me. Similarly for teachers, if they're going for a class, they're going for a particular subject. So how do they make them more aware about it? Democratizing creativity for all students, very important. I normally hear when we visit schools, universities, that creativity tool or Adobe tool or generative AI is only for design students, media students, mass journalism. Why not for social science? Why not for BA? Why not for legal, law? Why not for MBA, finance, or whatever stream they are reading in? Why not for agriculture guy? AI is required by everybody. Maybe in a different form and shape, maybe in a different level of their expertise, but it is required. That's what we say, democratizing it for everybody. Coming back to Adobe to AI, I'll just correlate how Adobe and AI sync with each other. AI is not new to us, and this is the journey of AI. If you see, internet era came before. We had millions of users of internet. Then came the mobile era. We all switched to mobile. The desktop started looking faded away, slowly. Social era, very important. Insta, WhatsApp, lot many things which took place. Let's say 100 million users in 1 month on Insta. But if you go to AI era, which is ChatGPT, less than 24 hours, 100 million users. The AI model of Adobe is called Firefly. I don't know how many of us have used Firefly. Okay. A responsible AI, the definition of responsible, it will be covered by Yaman in more detail, is something that we do not train our models on public data. We train our models only on your data. And how we do it, probably Yaman will take you through. That is called responsible AI. I'll skip this slide and come back to this slide again. So Adobe unique propositions, we all are sitting here, is primarily higher education. Very less of K-12. I don't see anybody from K-12 segment, right? Primarily from higher education, university, this thing. So what we say is, for students we have Firefly, Photoshop. Everybody uses Photoshop. InDesign, everybody uses InDesign. Illustrator, everybody uses Illustrator. Premiere Pro, right? Similarly, we have AI Assistant. Yaman will tell what AI Assistant is. So this is the pack for student. This is the pack for future creative professionals, whereby a little more. And then we say for staff, staff is primarily what we are saying is Acrobat. We have been using PDF since we were young days. PDF, you know, is proprietary to Adobe, right? But most of us use PDF as a reader, right? Very less we use writer or editor, right? We keep downloading those files, then converting those files using some engine, Nitro or some free PDF user, and then we waste a lot of time in correcting the machine language, correcting lot many things. But a real writer purchased or with you takes just 2 seconds or 5 seconds to convert your any file to anything, which is legible transfer. And this is what we say the plan for students, and we'll cover more in detail. We can discuss more in detail. What we say, well, we have this product called Adobe Firefly for Education, which is for all the students, which is your creative suite. What is the creative suite? Yaman will cover in detail. It's a pack of apps under one suite, suiting everybody. Fashion, right? Design, architecture, your core design students, your media students. Under one pack, you have everything. A pack of students is given, license given to a student. He may not or she may not use all the 22 apps, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. But what we have crafted is a 22 pack which is used by everybody, can be used by everybody. And it has Acrobat also. All right. Similarly for faculties, Creative Cloud All Apps, which I said, Firefly Generative Premium Engine, and AI Assistant. Again and again this word AI Assistant is coming. Please mark it when Yaman comes in. Please ask as many as possible questions. Make that session more interactive rather than one way, right? Ask about AI Assistant, how AI Assistant is going to change your own, as if you are teaching in the college, how it's going to change your life from tomorrow. And similarly for faculty and staff, which again and again push it, Acrobat Pro, very important. Finance, legal, materials, they need Acrobat Pro. Now, this is the blueprint that we print normally to make a university AI ready. If somebody says, today I have a pack of AI licenses, ChatGPT, Gemini, few more, lot many there on the fly, and you say, my university is AI ready tomorrow, no. It's a roadmap where you have to inculcate the habit to every student, every faculty, every staff, and that roadmap Adobe helps in case we sign up for any creative, we call it this Creative Campus program. Over a period of 12 months, we can comfortably say your institute, university, department is AI ready. And that's a roadmap which follows. How do we do that? It's a pure roadmap. Deploy frictionless deployment of the licenses, then we train the teachers, AI first as a mindset, subject, and then after 1 year we can say, yes, my university is AI ready. Adobe Creative Campus, as I said, Adobe Creative Campus is a program that we launched a couple of quarters back, primarily in what do you call developing countries. Now, you know our country, and this is a fact. In your universities also may not be, right? 63% to 70% is non-genuine software usage. 63%. It's a fact. It's a and we have the data. 63% users, students, faculties in the campus used on lab machines, used on their personal machines, used on the official machines. It is non-genuine. So we launched around 2 quarters back, 3 quarters back now. It was somewhere in January we launched. It's around 3 quarters. We launched this program called Creative Campus or Full Coverage. Under Full Coverage and Creative Campus is that we give the entire suite of Adobe to all the faculties and staff, to the core students. We give it Creative Cloud, our pack, and then Express. Express, what is Express? And did anyone use Express here? Adobe Express? Yaman. I told Express evangelism is very low. Good that you have used Express. Express is our North Star product. It is going to be the most powerful product app in world in next 6 months from now. It was launched around a year back. Today already 100 million users are using Express. It is the North Star product for Adobe. And once you see Express, the power of Express, you will realize, I mean, where was this product which can make any student generative AI responsible or responsible AI users in 30 seconds, 30 minutes. Right? See the product. Live demonstration will give you for Express also. But I'm surprised Express, nobody is aware about Express here. Yes, sir, it's not. So Creative Cloud was that, wherein what you get is FDP comes as part of that. Most important thing, somebody used the word here, boot camp meeting, right? What is boot camp? Is you meet up, catch up, exchange ideas so that you upskill, reskill yourself, right? We call it ACE, Adobe Community Educator, whereby once you become part of this program, you get connected to the whole world, global educator community for designs. And once you get community, you learn the best practices, you be in touch with them, they visit here, you visit there, and you learn the best practices across. So you become part of our global ACE community, which is called boot camp, knowing each other, learning from each other. So all that is done. And the last piece which becomes part of Creative Campus is, how many of us heard about Behance? Right? What is Behance? Behance.
Platform for the portfolios and
It is the platform for creatives like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for job, right? I have to apply, I'll go to LinkedIn, not Behance, right? So, but in case a student of your college who has done design would go to Behance to show the portfolio, and Behance is a platform of employer and employee in design arena to get together. And Behance, you would know, is a platform owned by Adobe, right? And Behance as a platform comes along with this spec. So Behance is a very super powerful platform which matches the employer and employees in the creative field. So it's the LinkedIn of creativity that comes along with this. Right? So this is a little about creative. I have not touched much about creativity and all, but we can sync, we can discuss what are the things that we have on offer, what are the different programs that we have from Adobe's table. This is what a differentiated institute, empower your faculties and all, prepare students for successful career. And few of the citations that we have done it across globe. These are very, very large universities, Auburn, Teesside, and then we recently signed with Swinburne. And most of the large universities are covered. India, we have around 20 use cases where the IIT Delhi is like one of the institute where every student is empowered there. California State University, again, this is a very good success story, but anyway, I'll not consume much of the time here. So we'll discuss during the networking, probably how can we make a difference for your institutions, how do we tie up, what are the things that's there. And before I give it to Yaman, there's a theme that we set. That's why I said this program, this event is little different. There's a theme, we'll give it post Yaman's technical note. And theme is to discuss in the table, across the table between yourself, whosoever is there on the table. Under that, be very blunt. As Adobe education head, I'm saying, be very blunt and put it to us. You guys cheat. You guys are very costly. You guys are not accessible. You guys don't do masterclass. You guys don't come to our campus for recruitment. Put all the points. And we want to hear that. And how can we make difference? How can we improve ourselves? Aim is that. And how do we key takeaways? How do we make the life of a student and a teacher better from these key takeaways? So that's a topic to discussion. We'll discuss across everybody, and then one of you can stand up and say what is the table that you discussed, and then we chalk out a program for that. Right? So Yaman, over to you now. Yaman, as I said, he was a professor at Pearl, now my colleague at Adobe, has been a SME, a subject matter expert or a senior consultant, technical consultant with us. And he will take us through some amazing work that Adobe is doing under Generative AI, under AI Assistant, under Express, and lot many things. And I would request, no more one way, please make it two way. Pop up your questions. This is our internal core group that we are working here. It's your own home. And make it more interactive to make the best out of the session. Thank you so much.
No, great. Thank you, Om, and thank you everyone for taking out time to be here. I know the weather is not favorable, but thank you for investing your time today. As Om said, the idea here is to listen from you, and the more we listen, the better we will be. My name is Yaman. I am a product expert solution consultant at Adobe India. My background is I'm a designer, and in this field almost like 2 decades now. I started my career as an animator. I used to create sketches and then scan it and then digitize it and those things. So that was my background, and then I've been at various places. Like Om said, Pearl Academy was my last instinct. Before that, I was with other colleges and in the industry. I was, I don't know how many of you know, there was the company called ArdorComm Smart Classes. Have anyone heard? The first company who came up with the idea of not smart classes, but how to teach with audio visual content. So I was the creative director of that company back in time. So that time was the era of Flash, when the Flash animation was there. And then I remember a NCRT reached out to EduComm and they said, can you create some animations for for the students who are ADHD students? So how to do brushing, how to wake up early in the morning. So we create a small flash animation, quizzes where child has to click, let's say you have to do brushing, what you will pick. So 3 images used to come, toothpaste, brush, so he will click one of them and then it say, congratulations, you did a good job. So those were the things at that point of time. Now, I was hearing all of you, I was sitting behind and I was hearing, and all of you were saying that we started from the age of pen and pencil and how the word came. I'm sure you will agree if I say that all of this is very fascinating for us. Very imaginary, I would say, even though I'm from a technology side, but I would still say this line because back in 20 years back when I started my career, I have never thought that one day the machine will create a pixel. I know that camera was there, so I know the machine is able to capture the pixel. But I have never thought that one day will come and I will see in my life that the machine is creating a pixel. When I'm saying pixel means a photo. And that's happening today. You don't need a camera. A machine is creating a photograph. And fortunately and unfortunately, somebody was talking about the era when he passed out. We were the last generation who have experienced the analog world and the digital world. And if you give a thought when you are sitting alone, it's a very big thing in a positive and in a both way. Today's generation, for them, the Gen AI technology or this kind of technology is a table stake. They feel this is how the world is. This is how the world works. What are you talking? That you were in the age when you used to use a cassette player to rewind the entire song? What era? Is it a stone era? Because they're born in this age. And I was listening one tech talk, and he was a professor of MIT. He said, what is technology? We are talking about a lot of big words, AI and this and that. I have a very basic question which I always ask people, what is technology? And that question that professor also threw, what is technology? And I thought that he's an MIT professor, he will give some technical answer which blown everybody's minds. And but he said, anything which is invented after you born is a technology. So for us, maybe at least for me, radio was not a technology. That was a table stake for me. This is a radio, okay. But when the CD player came, it was a technology for me because it came in front of me. Telephone may not be a technology for me because that came before I born. But when a mobile phone came, it was a technology for me. So for children who are born in now or in the era of 2000, for them, internet is not a technology. It's there. It was there since decades. But for us, it was a technology. So with that, I will start my presentation and see how this technology will take us forward. The students are changing. So how students are changing? Om was talking about internet era, social era, web era. One of the era which is currently running is the social era. Students or even a professional or even a human being, our attention span is very less. We are in the world where nobody wants to consume a very long information in a given time frame. People like to consume bite-sized information in a small information in a succinct manner. And students are also changing in a way, they are now not restricted to tell their ideas or their expression in the form of notebook. They are free to express their ideas in the form of infographic, in the form of image, in the form of animation, in the form of documentary. They are not anymore restricted. Now all the colleges and the universities are modern. They are now they are, at least all the design colleges and university are not restricting a student to follow a one medium. They are allowed to express their ideas. So that was the another reason the students are changing. They want to express their idea in various method. Students are also changing because they are ahead of our technology knowledge. So if you may or may not want to use AI or Gen AI or whatever, they will definitely use it. If you may or may not want to tell them about AI, but they will definitely use it in their home. And if you are not allowing them, or if I am not allowing them to use, they will definitely say in their home, you know what, I have a faculty, Mr. Yaman, he completely give us shit to any AI technology. I don't know from which era he came. But I will use it because I can do my work in 20 seconds. And that guy was sitting 2 hours to do the things. That is the mindset which they have. So let's leverage their mindset so that they should not feel that we as a faculty are dumb. We are very much up to speed with them. So, and couple of examples, like when even the Gen AI era or the AI era was not there, students were still very, very much creative. This was a NDTV post of a engineering student who applied in Zomato by creating an animation. So he didn't submit the CV, he created a small animation, and in that animation he talked about what is his skill set. Basically he's applying for some graphics design role, so he created a small animation and he sent that, and it's caught Zomato attention. Zomato immediately hired him, not as an intern, but I got to know later they offered a job also. This was the another internship, Cred, which is a financial company. So one engineering student sent a internship. He created a 3D animation for the role of motion designer. The role is something related to animation, and he created a 3D animation. What's the best way to talk about that? What's your skill? And the guy himself is from a BTech. If you go through this link, he was a BTech student, but he learned by using YouTube. He learned using the knowledge is now readily available. It's not about knowledge. It's now how you are carving a path to a student. That's the important part, because the tech is available for them. The knowledge is available for them. They just need to amalgamate the knowledge and the tech both. And that's what our faculty job is, to tell them what's the right tool, what's the right place to get the authenticated knowledge, and then the rest they will take it forward. I was talking to one faculty, and he was telling me that whenever he sent a questionnaire, a student used to write instead of finding themselves, putting effort, they are going on ChatGPT and finding the answer and giving the answer. What should I do? I said, see, you can't stop them to using that. That's today. That's the today, and that's the fact of the life now. What you should do, you create your questions through ChatGPT and give the instructions that the question should be in this form and fashion. So you are behind, they are not behind. You are behind. You are not you are not riding the bus which is on this stop. You are still thinking that wherever I am the best, but you have to get on that bus, because that is the current age. And that's what human are. We as a human, we evolve over the period of time, all the way from the Stone Age till today. We evolve ourselves. When the typewriter was there, we were thinking that's the life. But then the computer came, we said this is the life. Then the internet came, we said this is the life. So we as a human, we keep on evolving. So that's a good thing as a human gene, that we evolve. And that's the fact that AI is there. And it is now, it's not a future. I'm in many conversation, people say AI is a future, Gen AI is a future. It's not a future. It's given, it's right here. People have invested, companies have invested $1 billion in my role. I day in, day out, my role is to talk to creative head, creative directors at various places. And they are saying that, Yaman, my company have invested $10 billion in buying a tech from Adobe, Microsoft, and some other companies. And their ROI is that I have invested 10 billion. Now the output should come, instead of 1 week, within 2 days. And if I am not hiring a people who know this tech, then I'll be fired. Because the owner company director or the management will say, boss, I have spent 10 billion and you are still creating the output in 1 week. So the competition is very high in the market. Every minute you are getting different notification. Hey Yaman, would you like to have a biryani? Hey Yaman, would you like to have a pizza? Who is writing that name? Nobody is writing my name there. When I reach my home, I get a different kind of a notification. Everything is hyper personalized. And this personalization is completely driven by a machine, not a human being. What human is doing, human has put this design thought that things need to be personalized. Somebody have thought this. Machine can never thought this, that things can be personalized. Before personalization, there was something called customization. So things were customized, but things now personalized, and now it's going into hyper personalization. So a student within school access to Adobe tools are more confident in. The reason why it's using a Adobe tool will be more confident, because when it comes to design, Adobe tool is one of the tool which is used by many enterprises across the globe, including the design agencies in India and outside India. And when the recruiter hire, the design director hire students, they would like to see that how much the student know about that tool, and very specifically how much a student know about the AI related feature within that tool. And now I was talking to one of the design director. He said, now I used to ask the students or whoever, even if they are hiring a professional, that in your portfolio, which are the project which you have made by using a AI technology, and what is the thought process behind that? Because the idea cannot be thought through a machine. That is something you will thought, but you will use a different kind of AI tool to execute. So that the conversation, the interview conversation is getting changed now. Like we say that the world of AI is changing everything. In the same way, the world of AI is also changing the conversation between a student and the recruiter. The recruiter wants to know that what AI tools have you used. Are you expert in using Photoshop? Maybe not. But if you know how to use a certain AI tool within Photoshop, that's what they are looking for. And one thing is, and I believe at certain extent a student also know this, the idea of the AI is not to replace either faculty or human. The idea of the AI is how to remove the friction from imagination to execution. And that's what the AI is doing. The speed of your imagination, converting them into execution, that's become very less. So if I thought that tomorrow I want to publish let's say a poster, I may start from a paper drawing, and then I will scan it and put it in the computer and then write a certain prompt that convert this design into a digital design. Immediately within 1 second it will get converted. I do not have to copy paste anything. So what AI is actually replacing or removing in the world is the speed from imagination to execution, and that's what the companies are also looking. In our product also, these are the industry leading applications. When it comes to graphics design, Photoshop, Illustrator are the industry leading application. When it's come to video, animation, After Effects, I'm sure you must have heard of, Premiere Pro, you must have heard of. These are industry leading applications. These applications will not going to remove, or industry will not going to remove these applications, because the entire workflow has designed from years and years on these applications. But just like everything, Adobe is also evolving. It's not like the Photoshop we were using 15 years back. Photoshop is not no more like that. It has also evolved with this whole AI enhancement. And one thing which we have bring in all these applications is a generative AI technology called Firefly. So what is Firefly? Firefly is actually a name of a technology built by Adobe. Somebody built Gemini, somebody built Copilot. Adobe has built Firefly. So it's a brand name of a technology. Now, because it's a technology, Adobe is infusing this technology across all the Adobe products. So be it Photoshop, Illustrator, all your conventional software which you are using since years and years, now become smarter. Because a company know if we do not implement AI, then over the period of time, people may not use Photoshop or they move to, so even company also implements some kind of a Gen AI technology, and that's Firefly. Now, how Firefly is different, like Om briefly mentioned, unlike other Gen AI models, Firefly AI model is not trained on any copyrighted content or any data which is owned by anyone. So there is a team sitting behind in Adobe, real humans sitting behind, who are picking and choosing the data from the internet, which is didn't owned by anyone, or it's not copyrighted by any company, or Adobe also has a right to use that image for the training the AI model. You all know that to use AI, the model need to be trained on the data, right? The type of data you will use to train the model, AI eventually create that kind of images. So we are not mining the internet. You know, mining, you go and grab everything which is there. So you go, if you use any AI model in the world, I'll not take name, you know, many models are there. Even your WhatsApp also has a meta AI. If you write Mickey Mouse, it will generate a beautiful image of a Mickey Mouse. But do they take a permission from Disney to create a Mickey Mouse? Maybe not. They just grab everything which is there. If you write Amitabh Bachchan, it will generate a nice photo of Amitabh Bachchan. But do they took the permission from Amitabh Bachchan to use their photograph? Maybe not. One of the latest example is Ghibli style, which becomes suddenly a trend. That Ghibli studio in Japan spent years. You go online, there is an article of one of the employees. He said, we spent years to find out that style, that sophisticated, pleasing style. And we charge a certain amount of money to create an artwork in that style. And I still remember his line in the blog which I was reading. He said, now everybody, left, right, center, can use our style to create their own image, and we are not getting even a single penny. So did that company on which we are generating, at least I haven't generated any image by using that, but that company who bring that style, did they took the permission? No. And that the exploitation of the AI technology. So, and that's what is called responsible use of AI, that how you are using AI. Now, all these examples which I gave you, if you write any prompt related to this in Firefly, it will not generate any image. Firefly doesn't know what is Mickey Mouse. If you write Mickey Mouse, it may generate a mouse, because the word is mouse there, so it will generate a mouse. It will never generate Amitabh Bachchan. It will never generate any human being. So sometimes even when I meet some student, they say, Yaman, it's not creating the image the way Midjourney create. Yes, of course it will not create, because that XYZ player is using someone else's data and creating the output. And in a corporate, when I go for a corporate session, I always used to say, the open world AI models are good to create a birthday card for your kids, but they are not good to create a commercial project, because commercial project has a stake of $1 million. And if you publish the project, be it a campaign or a book or a magazine or a banner, and if somebody find it out, something which is copyrighted, they will put $1 million lawsuit on you. And no brands want to put their hard-earned money in that. And that's why big brands have came up with a new thing, something called AI policy, AI governance policy. And I know, because I used to deal with the corporate side, commercial side also, left, right, center, they split it off you. Like, I remember I got a questionnaire of 50 questions related to only on the LLM of Firefly. How it is trained, what is the accuracy level of hallucination, things like that, because they are big brands in the market. They do not want to get in any trouble. So what Adobe have done, we have created an AI which is not trained on any commercial data or anybody else data. So whatever the student will create with this AI is free from any copyright issue. So whatever output it will generate, whatever pattern it will create, whatever graphics it will create, that's unique. Any faces which Firefly will create, something like this, what you are looking on your screen, none of them exist on this globe. They will not going to turn up tomorrow at your campus or tomorrow at your office and ask you for the royalty. These faces are purely made by a machine. Can I say this same thing for the other AI model with the same conviction and confidence? Maybe not. Because if the other model is able to create Amitabh Bachchan, which is a living being, then the any photograph which it will generate, that person might exist somewhere in the world. But here it will not generate that. So this is something all of you know. Generative AI helps in the ideation part and the optimizing part. So being an educator, I always believe this, and I always say AI is not going to do 100% things, at least today. It will not going to do 0 to 100. But yes, it will give you a start from 50 to 100. The 0 to 50 will be achieved by a machine. And that's what companies are also very cognizant. They know the machine will not going to create 100% perfect thing. If that was true, by the time many people, many designers were on the road. But everybody is cognizant. The designers are also aware of this. The brands are also aware about this. That Gen AI give you a push start, a jetpack start, that instead of doing an ideation and creating a mood board by doing a donkey work of downloading images, Pinterest, and bringing it at one place and sitting with 4 designers and thinking, okay, let's discuss what to do. You simply write a prompt, generate 50 images related to living room in a pastel color. Boom, 50 images are there. Now let's discuss. 2 minutes job. That is the role of a AI which companies are looking and the studios are looking. And students should also use the AI in that form and fashion. So if they have to do a secondary research in a design research module, they should not wait for a 2 weeks or a 1 week. They do a secondary research within 1 hour or 2 hours, but then they should go on the field and do the primary research, and that is where the real skill will come. So you need to find it out. What is the right way of using, where to use these kind of AI technology. I'll give you some examples. All these images, if you are doing a like ideation kind of a thing, okay, I want to create some design with ink on a paper, but instead of before starting, I just want to visualize if I mix blue ink and the pink ink, what kind of image I will get. So I did a quick visualization here, 2 dragon in what I Rochard test design ink blot style. So it's a ink blot style which I want. Now I can do this manually also, but that will take some amount of time. So I did it here, got some idea, okay, what's working, what's not working. So you do your A/B testing on a machine through AI, and once you get some level of idea, then you move forward and do the real execution part. If you want to create some video content through image, or you want to give some little motion to your images, what you can also do, if you have images, you can convert them into a video as well. So here you can see a very basic motion. So imagine if I create a small painting and I want to see how that painting will look like if I give a certain motion. You simply write a prompt and your image will get converted into a little motion. These are some examples from our automobile design, a robotic car. Let me take you on a journey of a Divya. So Divya need to do a research. He need to create a assignment on a smart city. So she will do a research, then she will do some ideation, and then she will do the execution. How she will do the research on a smart city? So one thing, of course, she will go on the field, do the first-hand experience by talking to people, interviews and all those things. But when it comes to the secondary research, she will use the Adobe Acrobat, and Adobe Acrobat now gives you a power of something called PDF spaces. Means in a simple language, you can create your own AI agent. So what she will do, she will come to Adobe Acrobat, she will upload multiple research documents related to smart city project, which she grab it from the internet. And now the AI agent is getting ready. So agent is reading all the documents. Within few minutes, agent will create a summary based on the document which Divya has provided. And if anything she found it out nice here, she can copy it from here. Or else she can ask certain question like summarize the key concept of a smart city from the various document. So she has provided a 50 document, but our system support 100 document. Each document can be 600 pages, means 60,000 pages you upload and then write a simple line. So if you have a PhD scholar, he can, if he want to do some secondary research, he can do it immediately. Many, like Om gave an example of IIT Delhi, many IIT Delhi PhD scholar, I believe we met some people, they were using very heavily our Acrobat to do the this part. Now immediately it will providing the some information here based on those document which we have provided. And it will also give you a few suggestive question in case if you are not getting what to ask, how to ask, the AI will give you some suggestive question and you can ask that as well. Now the question here is provide supporting example of a smart city project from India and global. Now this data is already there in the document which she has uploaded. But if she took this data and create a report, and if tomorrow if the faculty asks, can you verify where did you get this information, right? Or maybe in the commercial or the enterprise world or professional world, if somebody asks you, can you verify where you get this information? So if you see, with every line there is a blue color number. Now if you click on those number, it will going to highlight. Let it click on this one of these number. It will going to highlight the document, the page, and exactly that line. So you have a confidence that the AI is not hallucinating. AI is not creating the information from its own. Now many of you think that there are many online platforms which does the similar kind of a thing. So how this one is different? The one very important point is this AI model will only work on the document which you will upload or the website which you will provide. It will not go outside from this. So if you ask a question where the answer is not available on this provided document, this AI model will not try to be smart by giving you some kind of answer. It will simply say, sorry, the information which you are looking is not available in the provided document. Unlike other AI model which give you some answer just to prove themselves that they are smart enough. So this is one of the very big thing, that this AI model will only restricted on the input data by the user. It will not go outside from this, and when you click on any of these information, it will highlight that particular paragraph. Now I was showing this live demo to one company. He said, okay, can you ask a question, what is the color of the sky? And I uploaded a few documents. So I asked the question and the system said, the color of the sky is blue. So the guy said, the person said, Yaman, you were saying that it will only work on the data which is provided. So then I went into a little technical discussion. I said, just like as a human to speak in English or write in English, you need a foundational knowledge called A, B, C, D, E, F, G, S. Similarly, a LLM model, to work LLM model, to understand the context, to understand what to write, to paraphrase what to write, LLM need a foundational knowledge. The foundational knowledge is pre-fitted. If you don't put a foundational knowledge, it will be like a baby. It will not be able to tell anything. So foundational knowledge is basic things around the world. If I say, can you tell me the number from 1 to 10, it will tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even if it is not written in the document. It's a foundational knowledge. Number, machine know what is number. So when I say it will only work on the document which you provide, it means in the context of the type of document which you are uploading.
Can you upload scans?
Yes, very much. So it does support. We know that most of the PDFs in the world are scanned, which you download from the internet. What it will not support is the password protected PDFs. So we respect the privacy. if you have a PDF file which is password protected and you try to be smart and you think, no problem, it didn't open, no problem, I will upload here and write a question and AI will go inside it. No. AI can go, but Adobe AI will not go. It will respect it.
Read the texts only or images as well?
It will read the text, it will read the infographics pertaining the infographics created on a machine, means Illustrator, Photoshop. What it will not read today is a handwritten notes or handwritten things.
Say there is a comparison of some designs that are not generated.
If it is created, let's say CAD design, it will able to do that.
And research is a lot of statistical analysis, say bar graphs and pie charts and everything.
It will do. Infographics also do. It will also able to do a mathematical calculation. Since today we have a limited time, I'm not going very deep, but it can do a mathematical calculation also. So in case, let's say you uploaded a 5 years annual report, year 1, year 2, year 3, and you ask a question, what is the average profit since last 5 years? Now that answer is not available in any of the document. But you know, by putting a mathematical formula, you can pull out that information. So we have trained our AI model on the mathematical equations also. So AI will look all the 5 documents, it will apply the formula, it will show you what formula it's applying. It will also show you from which page it is pulling the data and what is the final answer. So mathematical calculation is also very much possible. It can read the rows and columns very well.
Can it
So
help
would
us?
it?
Sorry?
So would it be able to analyze a video?
No, not. So this is working on a Acrobat. So Acrobat only support PDFs, Word, documents. You can upload a Word, Excel, PowerPoint file.
But
That will.
images are also not decoded. Like if we want to analyze any image, compare it to images.
A photograph it will
Yeah,
not.
photograph.
No. It's need to be infographic, which has a data. So you want to compare. So I remember I uploaded 2 insurance policy of a company, a brochure of insurance, and your brochure contain some textual data and some table illustration of 5 years, 6 years. I uploaded both the document. Then I asked compare both the document, create a table of benefit and pros and cons of both the insurance policy. It was 10 pages, nothing big, but you know, lot of fine prints are written there. So I simply wrote it, created a table for me. So give it a try. It's available in Adobe Acrobat Pro. Many of you have Acrobat Pro. You can give it a try to this feature.
Web link also.
Yes.
And downloading the PDF.
Yes.
You just put up the link. And
Yes. So here we have this. If you see the plus button here, if you click on the plus button, you have 4 options. Either upload a PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoint file, upload a URL link, or even if you have a plain text, copy paste the plain text also. That will all will contain in one single LLM model. And the good thing, if you see the top right, there is a share button. Imagine I am a faculty. I created one smart chatbot like this, where I uploaded a 50 document and I share this entire chatbot with the student, and I am saying, ki, boss, tomorrow I am on a chutti. Whatever you want to ask, write a question here, and the document which I have uploaded here will give you the answer. So there is that share option is a way to share your own personalized chatbot on your behalf with the students or anyone.
But if we ask any question which we are not uploading, and then we are asking a question, will it serve the web?
No.
It would not.
Only the link which you have provided, that it will go, and that is also a good thing. Imagine you upload a link which has a 50 page. Now who will go on those 50 pages? And that is what the smart working
So now
is.
linking, if I want to search suppose about thermal comfort, that's my area of research. I have no papers right now. So I wanted to search at least 50 relevant papers. Will it give me the list?
No.
No.
So you use the
uploaded documents.
Yes.
So I have to search somewhere else and then upload.
Or if you have a website link, if
Primary we have to do on our own.
if you have a website link, you upload a website link, it will do that. Yeah.
I have a question regarding Firefly.
Yeah.
Say there are 2 similar prompts given by our students, because whatever assignment we're giving and the student are receiving, and 2 similar prompts. So how similar will be the generative thing? How similar will it be? 2 students will have 2 different, similar topics,
Right.
almost
So-
similar prompts.
Right. So all these AI models works on something called parameters. There is some parameters are like, you can say there are certain settings which we match, and then one image gets generated or one text gets created. Just for a context, ChatGPT old model, I don't know about the 5, but the model 4, ChatGPT 4 used to support 400 billion parameter, means the probability of getting a similar image is a 400 billion. So even if two people write exactly the same prompt, now I'll tell you the probability when you will get the result. And so if two people write the same prompt, exactly same, not even a single word here and there, and press the enter button exactly same microsecond, and imagine the internet bandwidth speed is also exactly the same, and both the prompt is hitting the Adobe server exactly at the same microsecond, then only two people will get the same image, which is in a practical world is not possible.
But at least, I suppose the similarity index will be much higher, even if they don't do it at the same time.
No, it's, as I said, 400 billion is, and we are also increasing this. So the role
Because
of
you're not mining the internet, you have your own set of
right.
Yeah.
No, so the data is only to learn for the machine. Machine creates image by its own. So I'll just go little deep to explain. I'm sure all of you must have noticed when the Gen AI era came, the images was not very clean. There were 4 or 5 fingers, the faces expression was not clear. Because in the world of generative AI, machine does not copy paste. It's not search and sorting service. What it does, when you write an Indian female, we have trained the data machine on lot of Indian female faces. Now it's not pulling any data from there. What it's doing, it's learned and now creating the image completely from the scratch. And when the machine create an image completely from the scratch, it sometime earlier in the older version it was not very clean, and the probability of getting two images is very, very less. And the role of a tech company like Adobe is to reduce this probability. It's not like we build a tech and now we will shut the shop and we'll work on some other project. No, we have a people sitting who are constantly working on the Firefly to reduce this, or even other companies also, they are also doing the same thing, how to reduce this probability value. In a real environment, it's very, very less. Two people will not get similar image. In a very, very unlikely scenario, they will get it. That.
But many a times it happens that it starts reading the earlier prompt or the earlier conversation history, and you don't generate very different output.
It's yeah.
I'm not used.
Yeah.
This one,
So
but
we don't have a memory here. So this actually a good point which you bring. Many times people think that based on what prompt you're writing, the model will learn and it will generate better and better and better image, right? Or it will generate a similar kind of image because it's know what I have asked him. Here in the Firefly, it does not have a memory. If you write one prompt, hit enter, you get a 4 output. It will give you 4 output. If you didn't save or download any of the output, you press the refresh button again, it will generate 4 different output. Firefly will not going to be trained on your input. It will only going to be trained by Adobe people, unlike other AI models. And because we are not saving neither your prompt or your data, and that's why all the big brands, companies like what Om talks about, Infosys, Accenture and Wipro, they have a AI governance policy, and all the AI models are blocked by their firewall in the company. Only the one which passed their AI governance, responsible AI policy, they were allowed. So from the creativity side, Firefly is allowed to use, and from the other AI model from the other companies. So and the reason what they verify in their AI governance is the probability of getting similar images, getting the image, and are you saving the company data or not? Are you training your own AI model on the company data? We are not into data selling game. Okay, so we got the data from through the AI agent. Now it's time for ideation, because if Divya, remember we are on a journey of Divya. So now Divya has to create a report, and she also need images to go with the document. So she will use Firefly, and she will upload some reference images, the type of output she is looking for, and then she will write a prompt. and it will generate a video or the image. So our video model is also commercially safe, even though it's a graphical output, but even if you create a real output like a real human, it will have no resemblance with the real world. You can download this video and then you put it along with your document. Now, so she got the data, she got the images, now it's time for execution. Now she will use the Adobe Express. Adobe Express is a browser-based application, and it is, the motto of Adobe is everybody has a story to tell. If you have ever wondered what is the motto of Adobe, so this is the motto of Adobe, and the tagline is, so that's the motto, creative, everybody has a story to tell, and the tagline of Adobe is creativity for all. So we believe that everyone is a creative, and with that thought process, Adobe came up with this product, Adobe Express. It's a browser-based application. It's a template-driven application. A lot of templates are given here, and if you didn't find your template, you write a prompt and it will generate a template for you, and then you edit that template. So that is one feature, but beside that, it has a lot of other feature also, like you can create your own website. So now Divya will use this particular platform to create her website, and you do not need to do any coding or anything. So she is generating some posters here for a smart city. There are also some pre-populated template which she can use. All of them are allowed to use in a education environment also, like a student can use it for their portfolio. No copyright issue is there, or it can also be used by commercial companies. I'll just show you. Yeah, so this is how she created a website here.
Okay, the first time this is used, right? What happens the second time? I mean, then it's kind of copyrighted, right? If it's not really copyrighted.
No.
But then it's used by, say, for example, PwC uses.
Okay.
So the next time somebody else is using this image, obviously PwC has already used it.
So what? They have used it. They didn't have a trademark, no? Yeah.
But then it could be, then I mean, in that case, it's not original. It's not original.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So your question was on the legal side. So there is a difference between the ownership, copyright, and the trademark. So I can use one template,
But
and
then a company like PwC doesn't want something to be replicated everywhere.
They need to get it copyrighted then.
so that's up to them. If they want something fresh, so we have a filter.
Something which is not there. Why would they copyright?
So we have a filter which say something called first time use. If you turn on that filter, it will show you those images or those template which was not used by any Adobe user across the globe. So that is one thing. But just to answer your question, if somebody have used certain template for certain market, like PwC or something, let's say they use for India, I can use it for my local audience in India. That's okay, because Adobe does not give exclusive right for any Adobe content. So if you download an image, not the AI generated content, that's yours only, because it might not get generated the same thing. But if you are using any of our template or downloading image from our stock marketplace, we don't provide exclusive right, and we don't allow taking a trademark on that for the and commercial companies, corporate companies do know these fine prints, because when they do agreement with us, they know what is allowed, what is not allowed. It's not like you download an image from the Adobe stock and then go to the code and took a trademark on this. No, because that same image will be used by XYZ company, and I'm sure you must have seen same model in different website also, different representational images. So that's the thing. So this is the website. It's fully designed on Adobe Express. No coding here. And then if she want to share this website, on the top right there is a share button. She can share this website with anyone, maybe with the faculty or with outside the college. All these images which you are looking is the Adobe stock images. There is an option on the top to generate images also, that also you can do. We provide lot of fonts. So this is also one good thing. We provide more than 12,000 premium fonts. Adobe user does not need to purchase any font. We provide this along with the subscription. You can use those 12,000 fonts for your educational projects. Of course, there are do's and don'ts that you cannot use for commercial purpose and all that. But for education project or for your portfolio, you can use these fonts. So these were the three major applications. I didn't cover what is Photoshop, what is Illustrator. All of you are veteran, you know what are those applications. The major thing which I wanted to cover was the Firefly, PDF Acrobat to create your own AI agent, and the third one is the Adobe Express, how to create your own website, poster, banner content very quickly. For the pro user, they will use Photoshop, Illustrator, but anything if they want to do very quickly, they can use the Adobe Express. With that, Om, over to you.
Thank you so much. So was it interesting?
Yes.
Any changes that you see what was 2 hours back from now? About the power of Photoshop, power of Illustrator, power of generative AI, power of AI assistant, more important. 650, 600 pages, 100 documents, fraction of a second you get the crux of that. So many of us would be investing in stocks, red herring prospectus you would have seen before any IPO comes in, that runs into some few of the 100 pages, right? Just imagine few of the 100 pages and nobody goes through. Your own insurance policies, health insurance policy you take, life insurance policy that you take, runs into multiple pages. Nobody has the time to read that. Nobody has the patience to read that. But having that on PDF, just putting a prompt, 30 seconds you get the crux of that. So that's the power of AI assistant. So what we'll do is right now, as we discussed, very blunt feedback, right? And the aim we have been discussing since last 1.5 hours is all about shaping the next generation, creativity and career in the age of AI. Keeping in light your own institution, keeping in light your own experience, keeping in light your own, the way you want to look forward for the creativity and career in the age of AI. We would request across table, we'll have around 4 tables, and just discuss around your table. Pen and paper, everything is there. Jot down your thoughts around this, maybe 15 minutes, and then one of you can represent the table, present here what has been your thoughts around this topic. Make sense? Any suggestions not to do this, or should we do some other format? Is that fine? Yeah, so let's do that, and maybe we have one chair here. You can come. This is yeah. Ma'am, आप किधर join करेंगे? Who would have taken a note of the points, and from Adobe, Aarti, if you can take a jot of the so table 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So anyone from table 1 can come and put forward the viewpoints, and we discuss, and then we take the key takeaways. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, you want me to stand?
Either way, ma'am. Please sit down. Be comfortable.
Then it's better here. I'll be part of my group. So we all, it was really very nice to learn and understand the Adobe, what is it offering and moving ahead. And we all discussed on the table various factors, and I think it was deliberately that we are academicians sitting together, all 4 of us. So most of us, okay. So that way what we felt was that it is really going to affect the creativity, and age of AI, definitely it's going to impact the students. But as far as the institutions are concerned, we felt that accessibility is at number 1. I think we all will agree to this, that any software which has to be used by the students has to be accessible first for everyone, and very easily, and at very, nominal cost, because students are very particular about it. Maybe we can afford buying as institutions, but making them available and very easily available through their mobiles and all. Secondly, we talked about the Industry Connect, that is the academia industry partnership, where I think we all must be exploring, because we have the physical infrastructure, we have the labs, and we have the students as well. So maybe if Adobe or any software that comes in, they have their, future clientele ready, I would say like that. And they can make them future ready also to use their software, as AutoCAD and all other softwares are there with us in our labs, and students are freely using them. And they are getting that student license, which may not be very, very, professional, but then at least they get used to learning it. And then we talked about like the Sir asked, the Yamanji said that they are not using the professional licenses maybe there, but then now all of us know that every summers we are having a 6-week training programs. That is again the Industry Connect, and the highest placed industries like Google, Goldman Sachs, Accentures, they are all picking up the students and they are training them in these 6 weeks, and again it is happening. By the time they reach their thesis stage, I think they are well versed with the professional softwares as well. But definitely it would be much better if they come to these future, we have around 4,000 students, engineering students studying here in IGDTUW. So all of them, if they are, finding that Adobe is better and they know Adobe, and then, it's sort of feedback system gets created that this should be improved this way or that way. I think this is what we discuss. And very important point, Madam said that why not the CSR funds used in the development of the students by providing some softwares in the Digi Labs or having the licenses. And collaborations, again, we are looking forward to. So we are happy. We have definitely Adobe has some restraints which we felt as compared to other softwares. But once the collaboration happens, then maybe talking to each other, we can, just crease out whatever hindrances are there. And that is all from my side. If I miss on some point,
at the same time, of course, it is very important that, when we talk about, because we've all been speaking about AI and how AI is being used, but at the, AI is very, very important because the divergent stage of, all the design thinking that we talk about, where we use AI, it can actually help, do the work very, very quickly. But at the same time, while the convergent stage comes, where, the human thinking, the critical thinking, and the storytelling, visualizations, of course, has to be used. And again, coming back to using it as a tool to create visualizations. So definitely it's been, it would be very, very helpful, but accessibility definitely would be a big thing.
Great point. So I've taken a note of it. Table 2.
So we had a very animated discussion, and on this table we are from different generations, we said, so Mansi being the youngest. So we took it from Yaman said, reducing the time from imagination to execution was the take point. And yes, Adobe is doing wonderful. Our students do amazing job, and we all are very happy when we look at their work in the juries or their portfolios are done in the best possible way when they are out. Teachers do need a lot of training, so I would surely request Adobe to do such kind of, training camps, and for especially the teachers, because there's a whole generation gap, be it a new teacher or the old teacher, even newer ones need to be updated. So student is moving at a very high pace. And Dr. P.K. Gupta made a very interesting statement saying that human has always been playing with tools. So this is the tool of this human, as was told, technology and kya exist karta tha pehle. So that was a very interesting point. I would request Adobe for two things. One, if you can hold a competition amongst all the schools, which will keep them, one, in sync with, what is happening. They'll be by default rushing towards that, okay, what is the new thing coming up? So Adobe would have these customers by default who will go fine. And what ma'am made a point, where machine learning versus the real learning. So the award should be given to the real learning, where their entire human aspect also comes with the machinery is very important. And Aarti was on a table where we all came, Vatsal and I were very strongly kind of endorsing. And I think you are also with us, and Mansi is also with us, where Adobe should have a disclaimer of saying that be responsible with whatever you're creating. Because when the production speed is so high, we all know what we have done to the planet. It is so much of speed of the design and then execution and filth all over and lousy designs coming up. So somewhere we need to educate, like what cigarette pack says that, okay, don't consume much. Similar way, if Adobe also comes with such kind of statements, by default, if we are telling them to have a speed, we are also telling them to be ethical, be responsible, and be conscious. Yeah.
Very good. Table 3 now.
Hello. Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. I think much of our points are already, I've already put them up through to Om sir, because he was here we had the opportunity of having him here at our table. I think much of the discussion was centered around, like, if we want to transfer this, okay, or take it forward to the institutions, what are the constraints that would come? The first part of it was largely that, if it's a university which has different domains, then what happens is, if you want to reach through to all of this schools or the faculties, then you need to customize your packages when you're putting them through, because if it's a lawyer, they need to be addressed in that manner. Otherwise, they would never see the essence of it. Okay, if it's a person from the creative field, of course, we are much used to using Adobe, but not the lawyers or not the humanities school, for example, or not the pharmacy school, for example. So yeah, so anytime there is training, obviously it is understood that training will be required. So when that training does happen, so it needs to be customized according to those groups or those domains to see the essence of it. Because right now, since we all were from the creative domain, it was okay for us, But when you reach out to a university, generally it is, multidimensional, multidisciplinary. So we need to address that. So that is one of the resistance which we saw when we tried to introduce AI across the university 3 years back, into the curricula. So we had, I'll mention that again, we had students resisting, we had faculty resisting that we don't want to, do this. Why are they engineering all of us, We are creative people, we don't want to be engineered, kind of. So, yeah, at that point, even heading a school, it's difficult, and trying to tell them, no, wait. Drawing from my own experience, the reason I told them we need to do this right now is because we have a whole generation of our kids who are already learning AI from their school. So when this generation comes up, they're just going to wipe us out. If we don't catch up, they're just going to wipe us out. Okay, so this is the time that we have in which people like Adobe probably will help us, kind of bridge that gap and train ourselves to cope up with what is coming in the future. Yeah. And secondly, I think, how do we drive this down? Obviously, being a faculty myself, I think we need to have it integrated into a system where often we have seen, like we're talking about modules which could be worked out, and integrating them into, our Parsef maybe, our performances, where we actually do the modules and ensure that the faculty is actually training themselves into it. So that is a very important aspect, I think, because unless that happens, you're not making sure, just like how we do NPTEL courses or MOOC courses, and we have that benefit driven into the passive system of the university. So I think a similar exercise would be required. And at the same time, even for those who are delivering this, I always draw from multinational institutes, the way they reach out to help organizations. Generally, they work out saying, for the first year, they are there for your full support. From the second year on, they start withdrawing their support, gradually to leave you independent so that you're not dependent on them totally. Okay, so there is a gradual withdrawal. This is a problem which I see with most business houses is, they come in, they leap in for the first time, but then when they withdraw, what happens is there's a sudden vacuum. So a gradual withdrawal is desirable so that the university can stand on its own in this domain. Yeah, that is largely my domain, ma'am, if you would like to. Anything else you would like to say, ma'am?
The cost effect matters a lot.
already,
Yes, because students are using Canva in all the institutes, and the Adobe is the costliest. Like, I have asked her, is it free, the Firefly? So,
Correct.
so we are
yes,
using
we
the
take
cloud
cognizance of the
domain,
fact
yes.
that the first point which came over was accessibility, the cost. The
Yes.
first point on the table. We've taken a cognizance of this, we'll address this. So we'll make it more and more viable, and it will be at a cost which will please everybody. My voice is okay.
I just had
All right.
just
that
one point.
Cost
That.
point is well taken, which came and it was resonating, saying that yes, it should be accessible, yes, it should be accessible, yes, it should be affordable. We have taken a note of it. We are launching very soon something called, we call it full coverage program. Very soon this will be there on the road right now, and you'll see the wonders of that program, which gives a license, a original license, a full pack license, not cut for education, with Firefly, with Generative AI credits, with AI
So
assistant.
that's
and all.
what I have asked you.
Yeah.
The 15 minutes back you have forwarded a mail that the charges will be increased. So renew the entire Adobe iCloud, and we have. So it means.
Ultimately somebody has to fulfill his stomach also at the partner level. So that will continue. The Firefly is part of our offering today, and we'll make it more accessible, whereby you will not repent paying that cost henceforth going forward. I can assure you that. Right?
Just one small point, because I think that everyone has covered the main discussion points and even more just now. But just looking at the topic of conversation and the fact that there is democratization of AI, and we're also talking about democratization of creativity, how will our students differentiate themselves when they go into the industry? Because if everyone has access, I mean, the same prompt can lead to the same image, and even people who are non-designers can come up with something very creative. How do we pave the path for them in terms of the curriculum so that they are unique, they stand out differently? So that remains a question in my head.
We'll answer
That's
that.
all.
We'll answer that. The differentiation piece, how does student differentiate from the world, from the market, right? Yes, take a good point. Table 4, the last one. Yeah.
So I think we agree to all the tables, the points which were shared by everybody. And even if you look at our notes, the free and the open source was the first agenda point, which I think is a challenge when we are dealing with students and being at the institute. And that way, I think that should be taken care of.
Sure.
And another thing, maybe some students' plans can be there where it will be more interesting for them to. So we can also offer, okay, we can educate them, okay, this is a version which is a student's version or a student's license as part of an institute.
Sure.
And another thing I think which we can look at technically is I think nobody's using Google Slides these days, not even us. So everybody's, I think, moving to Canva. Maybe the free or the paid version, students are making presentations on that. So that's a collaborative thing. So there's, here we can look at something which is a group of students, a team, a class can collaborate on a common platform to create something, to design something. So that's, I think, lacking in this, all the softwares or whatever we have to offer there. So one point I think we can look at maybe one app or something which is a collaborative thing with this, maybe like, so
It has. So it is our fault,
Yes.
in fact, to tell you. It is our fault, and it is coming out very
Yes.
clearly. Adobe suites are 100% collaborative on the fly. The products that we have, it is 100% collaborative on the fly, including PDF. So under PDF, we have launched something called PDF Spaces. We didn't touch PDF Spaces today. LLM PDF spaces today. Under that, it is 100% collaborative. It is our fault we are not able to amplify in the market, saying that we also have that strength and the best strength, right? But good point that we have taken a note of it. Anything else, man? So,
Yes, FDP,
train the
like,
trainer,
I think we need to look at
amplifying in the
some,
market.
What Mac said, that institutional organizations, they are coming forward, holding the hand in the first year, but then withdrawing, and then faculty doesn't know where we are standing. So I think I being in the engineering domain for long, so I've seen that industry has come forward and they have collaborated with academia and for the engineering programs. And there they have curated the curriculum with the academia. So every semester there are some industry-oriented courses being offered. They are being curated by the industry. So for these design people, you curate certain programs where the curriculum is designed by you, where you do the train the trainers for these faculty. So they are also updated, their capacity building is being done. And you are going to get the workforce ready for your...
For my consumption tomorrow.
Yes.
like some faculty development programs has to continue with ma'am.
Sure.
So we can have it maybe like you're doing zone wise, so something in Delhi, and then all the institutes can be part of it.
Exactly, because we are making entrepreneurs for tomorrow, consumers of tomorrow, of Adobe. Right. So good points, great discussions, key takeaways, what I can note, and please add in case we have missed out anything. Accessibility in the cost, which was voiced across this hall, everybody. We need to make it more accessible, make it more cost friendly, make it more lower cost, open it up for students, student license pack, student version, well taken. Second piece was device uses, make the product device agnostic, right? Used on mobile, used on desktop, used on laptop, used on this thing. To tell you an express demo that we gave it, it is OS also agnostic and device agnostic. Runs on mobile, runs on Android, runs on Apple, runs on Windows, anything. It is OS agnostic, device agnostic. That's the reason we say Express is our North Star product since last 2 quarters. Industry Connect, apprenticeship of 6 weeks. How do we make sure that? Well taken this point. Student licensing is as part of the accessibility probably. CSR funds, how do we give you and dispose you with CSR funds to make sure some piece can be done? So for this I can only answer, see, Adobe you would have seen is not listed in India. We do not have a GST in India. We operate through partners on INR, but Adobe takes the cost internally at USD only. For that reason, even though it is mandatory like 2% CSR will come, we still get CSR from our corp. And to tell you, we invest CSR in 2 major fields. One is girl-child empowerment that we do in Andhra, Telangana, Bihar, Jharkhand, and Assam. So whereby we take, as sponsored by the state government, we handle those girl-child, get them creative, get them design and feed their education and their trainings. So girl-child education that we take care. Second we take care is your skilling upgradation of the government teachers, right? You can take it a political statement, why only government teachers, why not private teachers, but yes. So we skill huge amount of government teachers under AICTE program and under NESCOM program. So last year to last year, 2023, we signed out with MOE that will train 75,000 teachers across engineering colleges and universities over a period of 3 years, up to September 2026. So our CSR funds goes there. We cannot use CSR funds as per the law to do anything in B2B. We are B2B here, except for sir, right? Right.
I am also from a government institution.
Sorry, I lost it.
But then it could be like we hold a program and everybody can be a part of it. This will
There are,
get there.
we can study look into it because that's a different vertical. But I know we did voice to them, why can't you give it to this? Why can't you dispense of this? The question was, this is the law driving this. But however, there's a CSR council meeting. I am part of that every month. We'll put forward once again. But I got a pushback every time.
So one thing that I would like to suggest again, my experience from the engineering institutions. AICT being the regulatory body for engineering programs, they have come up with like Atal FDPs.
Yeah.
Where the institutions are applying for the FDPs, they are getting the grants, and then they are inviting other to come and participate. Similarly, if I talk about the new labs that you want to establish. So they are collaborating with the industry partners. Now drone is one area where a lot of work is to be done. So they have collaborated with the industry. Industry is sponsoring those labs. And this sponsorship is obviously being done for the private institutions also. It's not just for the government institutions.
So there are 25 institutions of B2B in the country sponsored by ICT where we are setting up a design COE.
So what ma'am is saying that since you are doing these trainings for the government institutions, so government institutions can apply for certain grants with you. They can conduct these FDPs at their...
So my bad, ma'am, probably I don't have the right answer because it's a different vertical.
So this is just a suggestion to you that...
Got it. Design COE, we are setting up 25 COEs in country in B2B as sponsored by ICT, but that funding is not CSR. That funding is going from my bottom line.
Yes.
All right. So got that point, CSR funding. FDP came as a very... Sorry.
Just one thing. Like before we start using Firefly and so many other softwares, because we're already using After Effects and all that for media particularly, we can always have a workshop from your side for each institution whenever we start using it, so that, in one go, it's a very interesting kind of a workshop FDP kind of a thing.
So
because this will
I would have answered you that on FDP. That's the reason I said FDP very important. Now, every 15 days from US time zone, we are in a 12-hour time zone between US and us. Right now, they would be just waking up, right? But they do 2 brown bag sessions every fortnight, which is on AM, PM, same topic, Firefly.
We can have an Indian team to, conduct that.
They do it globally.
Yeah.
And we give that online, we give that link to all the educators here.
No, but most of your information is not reaching. Like Yaman just told me that Express is free and I downloaded it right away on my phone, and this awareness was not there. Most of us are not aware. Yeah.
So that's what I said, we are not doing a good job in terms of awareness.
There is no industry
Connect.
That's what I'm saying, we are doing a bad job. I fully agree as a responsible leader.
One more thing I would like to say. Every time, like all of us are doing, 6 weeks internship, which I said, it is always collaborative. Like last time we did with ISRI, and then this time with Enscape, like 6 weeks internship, and in that only 5 days we take a FTP, and next, the students are being trained. So it involves a very little, investment from you also, and everybody is educated.
One more thing, what if, like, to save on cost, if you have experience centers, physical experience centers, so whosoever is interested in learning a certain software or gaining knowledge on the upcoming softwares, they can come to the experience center and gain knowledge, maybe in half an hour session. And it's pre-booked, you take an appointment, so a set of students come in with the faculty and you train them. So it saves on your cost of going to every institute or college or university, and the person who's interested is actually coming to you. So you can have it in major cities to go with and then expand it.
That's a very great suggestion, which is called experience centers. What happens is, a product which is given to a user is called named user. A named user license, which is used by a student, would have its own characteristics and own storage. Correct? Now, if I come to that COE center, I can only give devices equipped with the license. Now, when you give a devices-based license, it does not have in your online service, because device-based license, you can use it, you can use it, you can use it, you can use it, I can use it. So there is no online service. Device-based license that we give it just fulfills the need that a student comes to a lab, does something on this curriculum, goes back, which is not the right model. Not the, you don't get anything, generative AI, you don't get it, you don't get storage, you don't get ELS, you don't get anything. It's just fulfilling a need of some software loaded in your machine, which is inside your university or outside, but it is not the right model. It is not at all the right model. Now, a couple of other points which came out very clearly was use case of each domain, very important, right? So, and 2-3 more, gradual differentiation of students, student plan, which is nothing but academic licensing, and curriculum design, very important. Now, the 2-3 information before we leave it, but as I admit, these are the points, the key takeaways which will work across. We will form a closed group between us who are present here and pop up the information on that closed group, maybe over next 15 days, programmatic solution of many of these points. For example, I'll tell you one of the suggestions which came, internship or something which is there. Adobe conducts a hackathon, design hackathon in India. Few of the institutes here, I'm sure, would be participating there, design hackathon. Last year hackathon, which was done in September, October, 5 lakh students participated. This year again, September, October is coming. Already 4 lakh plus registrations are over. Under that hackathon, the top 100 students who won are awarded. Top 100 students are given a chance to join Adobe.
That's great.
Top 100 students are given a chance, or top, if not join Adobe, initially they can't join Adobe or they can't get into employment till they do their final year or DMC, they get it, what you say, but they get a chance to do our internship with us. And these kids then are put to our San Jose headquarters. They go to San Jose headquarters as a world intern workshop, and there they learn from peers. The cross-world interns come there to San Jose. But this is done. This is done, right? As a part of hackathon that we give it. Okay. So a couple of things that we have taken, curriculum design, and suggestions saying that we should, and Madam said, there are a lot of industry standard, a lot of industry partners who are designing curriculum and all. We also have curriculum design. India's first IIT of creative is coming in India. IICT. You heard of IICT? Indian Institute of Creative Technology, which is equal to IIT, coming in Film City, Mumbai, right? Announced by Honorable PM and Sitaraman in the last budget, right? That is already taking shape. Adobe is designing the curriculum for that, the entire piece. In India, what we are trying to do, all have seen Ram Lakhan, Khalnaik, I'm sure, right? We are converting those movies to AI movies with the same lip sync and all, using our software only, sitting in a room. Everything will come up very soon in those new vernaculars, the latest 8K and change of lip sync and all same. So great points. Thank you so much for investing your time once again. We've taken a note of this. Maybe a couple of days from now, programmatically we'll answer many of these points. Few points I don't have answer, CSR I don't have answer, but I'll circle back what best we can do. All right, and on that group probably you can pop up your more and more thoughts. But we'll come to your institution, and we'll see. And once we roll out our full coverage program, you will see your lot of points on commercial, accessibility, student licensing, academic program will get answered. All right. Last comments anybody wants to share, and before we break for dinner.
So I like to just say the core here is the student, and we are also here for the students and their better future. And I think the same focus is there with Adobe also. So keeping the student in mind, Adobe is still very aloof from student, and they are not reaching out. The student is not reaching out or exploring Adobe at all. Only PDF documents are being converted and read. So brand ambassadors, student ambassadors, faculty ambassadors at every institution will be, I think, the first step where one faculty, because now in our curriculum, we are not even mentioning these softwares. Because these are proprietary software, it becomes a burden on the institution to have them in the license. So we are not mentioning, we are saying image manipulation, image creation, and the syllabus is written in such a manner that it's not software specific. So student is also exploring at their own end. So here we are wanting to be, the student should be job ready, and we are giving this onus to the internship, because once they go into the industry, the internship partner is providing them that software in a licensed version, and the student is refining their skills at his end, not at the college end. So here as a creative school, we are feeling a little shy at mentioning it to our students, also not propagating any software. And in a way, we feel we should do a better job in giving them the hands-on learning at the institution itself.
No, that's the right approach. I mean, without mentioning any proprietary software, how can students be more creative? How can students be more learning, right? How can students be more industry aligned, more better employable? We can't guarantee employability, but we can make a student better employable. How is that possible? We can do that.
So some institution, like my son is studying at BITS Pilani, and there many of their, yes. So many of these companies, they reach out to them and they are asking their students to use it, and they are using them for refining their own versions. So why not give it to much more institutions, and we could be your guinea pigs. You can test the software at our end. The students are very creative and they'll be happy, because Autodesk is a very important example. Like in 1990 or sometime, I had learned AutoCAD going to an Autodesk computer center, and now Autodesk is providing all its software to the students. And only the flip side is when they take a print, it says educational version, and we are okay with it. Student is also okay with it. So if that kind of a version happens, it will be very helpful for us.
So that's the reason why we said, and before we break, the last one maybe, that's the whole reason Express was launched. Express, which was launched 3 quarters back, has already shifted 100%. 100% U-turn. It is the product which is for media content authentication, right? For student to develop media post, resumes, everything and everything. And that's the reason Express is gaining so much of momentum over creative. But to amplify creative, what we feel creative for media, design, journalism, still required. Express has limited possibilities to do. So we are making it more accessible. The creative is more accessible. So thank you so much for investing your time. I know we have taken a lot of time. Maybe a thank you note from you, and then